Welcome to our July 27th, 2026 meeting of the City Tuscaloosa Zoning Board of Adjustments. With any written comments sent to staff were forwarded to the board directly. At this time, I'd like to introduce staff and members of the board. Megan Smalley, Assistant City Attorney. Hudson Cheshire, Associate City Attorney. Zach Pons, Director of Planning. Lim O'Leary, Planner. And ask that the board introduce themselves, starting on my left.
Rodney Pelt.
Mary Catherine Holt.
Tim Gillum.
Michelle Coley, Chair.
Paul Rollins Jr.
Joe Robinson.
Now, by virtue of state law and city ordinances, the purpose of the Zoning Board of Adjustments is as follows. Hears appeals from zoning officer decisions, grants special exceptions to the zoning code in accordance with the terms as established by the City Council, grants variances from the zoning code when strict enforcement creates unnecessary hardship. Now, circumstances that are not hardships include those that are, number one, self-inflicted or self-created. Number two, inconvenient and or number three, personal. The Zoning Board of Adjustments does not interpret or enforce subdivision covenants or HOA rules. Those matters are not relevant areas of inquiry by the board on any petition. Now, there were sign-up sheets located outside for public comment. 4 speakers are allowed to speak in favor of a petition, and 4 speakers are allowed to speak in opposition of a petition. All speakers will have a maximum of 5 minutes unless the board votes to allow a longer time. Now, the board will take up items in the order of our final agenda. The board will initially receive a presentation from the staff as to the details of the agenda item. Now, after the staff's presentation, I will call upon the petitioner to present their case. The petitioner will have a maximum of 10 minutes unless the board votes to allow a longer time. Now, at the conclusion of the petitioner's remarks, I will call on any party in order of sign-up who desires to support the petition. Thereafter, I will call on any party in order of sign-up those who oppose the petition. Now, when it's your turn for comment, please introduce yourself, starting with your name and address to the board. To provide your remarks, any written comments have been included into the record. Now, after receiving the remarks of those who oppose the petitioner will have the opportunity to respond to those objections. Now, any rebuttal will be limited to just 2 minutes, unless the board votes to allow a longer time. Now, if the petitioner presents any new information in response to the objections, the board will allow those who oppose the petition the opportunity to respond to any of the new information only. Now, any response will be limited to 2 minutes unless the board votes to allow a longer time. Now, during the course of this presentation, you may be interrupted by any member of the board for clarification or additional information. Now, such interruptions will not reduce your allowed time to speak. Now, once the board members are satisfied that they have received all relevant information, I will close further discussion by the public, at which time the board members will discuss the matter and then vote. Now, after the vote, you are free to leave. Now, these proceedings are video recorded and broadcast live. All in-person public comments should be made at the podium and into the microphone. Any party aggrieved by any final judgment or decision of such zoning board of adjustments may within 15 days thereafter appeal therefrom to the circuit court by filing with such board a written notice of appeal specifying the judgment or decision from which the appeal is taken. Now, do any members of the board have any conflicts of interest as to any agenda matters? If so, please state the same for the record. No? Okay. Now, I would like to ask the staff to confirm on the record that proper notice has been given to all parties in interest as required by law as to all matters before the board tonight.
Yes, it has.
Okay. With that, I will begin with the approval of minutes as the Board of Adjustments has received the synopsis for the March, April, May, and June meetings. I move that we dispense with the reading of the minutes of the same unless there are any deletions, additions, or corrections. Okay? Need a motion and a second to approve synopsis.
So moved.
Second.
Okay? Voting?
Aye.
Yes.
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 Okay. They're approved. All right, we'll move to staff presentations at this time.
Good afternoon, Board. We do have 2 cases requesting to continue tonight. ZBA 44 and ZBA 5926, the same applicant, same property. They were not able to attend tonight, and they need more time to work on their application. They did request this continuance in writing. If we could have a vote for both, please.
Okay, do we need to do them separately, or we can do them together?
Yes, ma'am.
Do them separate?
Yes, please.
Okay, so I need a motion for the first one to be continued.
So move.
Second.
Okay, voting?
Yes.
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 Okay, approved. Need a motion and a second.
So move.
Second.
Okay, voting?
Yes.
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 Petition is approved.
Moving
be
on to our
moved.
first case tonight, ZBA 4226, Calvin Fikes, petitions for a variance from the general standards for accessory uses and structures to allow a shed to be located closer to the street than the principal structure, and to allow a shed exceeding 120 square feet in size to be clad in metal siding on the property located at 4612 Bass Drive, zoned SFR1, Council District 6. Here we have the zoning of the property to the south of Skyland Boulevard, and an aerial view. Here's that property from the street. You can see the shed in the driveway and a closer image of that shed. Petitioner is requesting a variance to allow the shed to be located closer to the street than the principal structure and to allow the shed exceeding 120 square feet in size to be clad in metal siding. The shed was placed on the property in 2022 without a permit and is used to house one of the applicant's vehicles. It's 400 square feet in size and is currently clad in metal siding. Here are our regulations for accessory structures. You can see Section 3, if they, Section G, if they exceed 120 square feet, they shall not be clad in metal. And then in E1, should not be located closer to the street than the principal structure. These are your decision-making standards for variances. We did not receive any written comment. Do you have any questions for staff?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Fikes?
Good evening, Board. How are you guys?
All right.
All right. My name is Calvin Fikes, and my wife is Leah. We have 3 children. We live at 4612 Bass Drive in the Spring Hill Lake resident. Here with me is my son, one of my sons. We've been there for about 20 years. We thank you for allowing us this opportunity to speak today considering the request. I'm respectfully asking the board to approve my variance request that I may keep the existing structure on my property. When I purchased my home, I was a first-time homeowner, so I didn't know about the ordinances, and I did purchase the building from a business in this city, and so I know it's my responsibility to keep up with the zoning and so on and so forth. But I thought maybe they would have gave me some guidance in that area because I didn't know. And so after purchasing the property, I made improvements to it, and about 3 years ago, the building that sits there was purchased. I wasn't aware that the city codes and ordinance at that time, I wasn't still aware of that. My intention was to improve and maintain my property in a responsible manner, not to violate the city ordinance. That was not my intentions at all. The structure had been on my property for a little over 3 years and has become a part of the way I use and maintain my property. It has not created problems for my neighbors or interfere with the public safety or change the character of the neighborhood. And I have some petitions from my neighbors that support what I'm saying there. One of the reasons I'm requesting this variance is that there's no other practical location on my property that I can move it. My backyard, and I have pictures to show that my backyard is not large enough for the building to be moved or the side of my home. The problem with the side of my home is that the utilities that are there, the plumbing and the power. So if I put it right there, if I needed some plumbing or something done, I wouldn't be able to the people wouldn't be able to come in and do the work there. And but I don't have the property. I won't have the space. I don't have the space allowed it on the left side to put it or the right. side or either in the backyard. Now, I'm willing to make some kind of changes. I'm willing to put siding or have it bricked or whatever I can do to accommodate the ordinance. But at the time, I didn't do this blatantly against the city, is what I'm saying. I didn't know anything about it, being a first-time homeowner. So that is, and then moving the structure to another area of the property as I addressed I don't have anywhere else to put it. So my last option would be to remove it, and that's what the city is requesting. But I respectfully ask the board to consider these circumstances and allow the structure to remain where it's currently located. I heard something about the vehicle, but that wasn't a reason. I'm a school teacher, my wife's a school teacher, and so we have, you know how teachers have all kinds of stuff. My kids got bikes, and I have a lawnmower, and all these things, and my garage space is already occupied with a vehicle, and so on. So I was running out of space to occupy things, and so I purchased it to kind of store those items as well. So it's not, putting the vehicle in it is just an added bonus, but that was not the intention for putting it there, if that makes sense. So I'm just asking that you guys kind of hear my plea here tonight, and I respect the city ordinance and the work that each of you do in our community. And so whatever the decision is, I will honor what you guys say, but I'm asking that you guys would just consider the ordinance.
Any questions? Thank you.
All right. If you want to see the petitions from the neighbors, I have those as well.
Could I see the petitions and
Yes,
those
sir.
photos, please?
I asked the city, so we have a couple of things going on. The first is that it's a metal building, so that's the biggest.
So there's two issues. The first is that it's located closer to the street than the principal structure, and second, that it is a metal-clad building larger than 120 square
So
feet.
he could be required to put some other approved facing on it, that part.
That would solve the second issue. Yes,
What
sir.
about the square footage?
If an accessory structure is larger than 120 square feet, it can't be clad in aluminum or metal siding. If they were to side it, that would meet our requirements.
Okay, so if we got it sided, that would meet that requirement. And on the other side of the house, is that a retaining wall? Is on the,
With the white,
where the white part is?
Yes, that's a retaining wall.
So you sit down from another property? It's
Yes,
kinda-
ma'am.
So it's kind of, and is this a cul-de-sac?
Yes, it's a cul-de-sac.
Okay. Okay.
For the city, you said that in order for him to meet the variance or whatever, he would have to, you say siding or brick that building in order to meet standard?
That would be one way to solve the requirement without a variance.
Okay.
You don't have anywhere else so your hardship is where to put it, where else would you put it?
Yes, I don't have any other space that will occupy the size of.
so you don't have any space in the backyard to put a shed for lawnmowers and small tools like that?
No, sir. I'll give you pictures of my backyard. It's really, really
Yeah,
small.
I'd like to see that.
Okay, give me one
And these are
second.
all the neighbors in this little cul-de-sac?
I have 4 neighbors in the cul-de-sac, and then above the cul-de-sac are those neighbors as well.
And
Yes,
so all of them signed?
yes, yes.
In
Today,
agree-
they did that today. Yes, ma'am.
He had to go get the signatures?
They wouldn't come to the meeting, so I had to, those are pictures.
Okay, here go the signatures.
So is this fence your lot line?
Yes, sir.
That's the side of it.
That's the side that the property is on. And then if you go through it, I'll show you the back. If you hold it up, I have the a PowerPoint if you need to, if you guys have access to do that, I can show you better. Give me 1 second.
What's that? Sorry.
Do you have where I can put the pictures up? You don't have-
Unfortunately
okay,
not.
sorry. So I have those. Sorry. When you get to the pictures in the backyard, you'll see the decks. That's the backyard. So when you see the decks, there's a backyard, 2 decks. And then you'll see the fenced-in porch.
So it looks like your terrain, you have a retaining wall in your backyard
No, I have,
where your deck is?
Like, it's
I
like it
mean,
just drops off?
yeah, it's just, it drops off.
Right.
So yes, it drops
looking
off,
at
but the lake is,
The overall, it looks like you have a pretty large lot line, but I'm looking at the terrain here, and it looks like it falls off pretty,
yeah, it falls off pretty deep down there. And then the lake area is down in that
I know
area.
where you live. yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Any other questions? Pictures, y'all looked at those pictures down there? Any other questions?
I don't have a question for the petition. This is more so for the city. We've seen this a couple times before, and like Mr. Fikes mentioned, of course, we know businesses they're in business to make money. So if I come and say I would like a shed that's 25 by 25, and I say put it in my front yard, and they just come and drop it off, is there something that can be done? Because of course, they're just gonna drop it. And they know that some of these structures can't be placed in certain areas. So that's one thing. And the other thing is, I know usually with this, it's one of those situations where we're concerned about the sight line for cars coming in and out. So would that be as bad, or with this being in a cul-de-sac? Because this is the end of the cul-de-sac, correct?
Yes, I'm right. When you come down, it's a house right there, third house, a house right in the cul-de-sac, and two houses on the other side.
where's the driveway for the house where the two trash cans are? Can they see when they're pulling out of their driveway?
That's the neighbors right next door. Yes,
Is
sir.
there driveway right there by the trash cans?
No, sir. It's
Is it
a little,
on?
yes, sir. It's over.
You haven't,
And that tree that sits there, that's their tree that sits on their property, and it hangs over right there.
Right, to answer that question, it wouldn't be an issue of, traffic being able to see cars pulling up because it's a cul-de-sac. I don't think that would be an issue in this situation.
Any other questions for this petitioner? All right, thank you, Mr. Fikes.
Thank you all.
We don't have anybody signed up to speak for or against. Is there anybody in the audience that'd like to speak in favor? Anybody in opposition? Okay, at this time, we'll close public comment. We'll go to board comment. Mr. Pelt?
No comment.
I do not like these metal structures in the front yard. There's a reason why we have this in our ordinance, but I also see the hardship on the lot, the grade of the lot, with how narrow the area is beside your house. Like, I don't even know if you could get the equipment behind your house to level off a space for this. It's been there 3 years and you're on a cul-de-sac. I typically wouldn't be in favor of this, but I can get on board with it if we can clad it in something else and make it look more similar to the existing facade of the house. And I don't know if there's any stipulations we could add, but if the house ever changes ownership, I would love to see it come down before it ever changed ownership.
Yeah, I'm struggling with this one a little bit myself. I don't like these structures in the front of the house either. But looking at the pictures and the terrain and trying to get back there, like Catherine was saying, to build something would be difficult of a shed, and it has been there 3 years. So I'm leaning a little bit more of seeing the hardship for this particular situation only.
I see the hardship. It being there 3 years is not the hardship. So, if it has to come down, it has to come down. But I do feel like that it can be clad with something. I don't think that it is blocking the sight line or anything like that. The hardship that I see is the lot itself and the topography and causing it where you can't put anything, and if you needed some more space. So would we put a stipulation that it has to be clad?
Yeah,
side-
if the board were inclined to approve the variance, you could place a condition that
And then a variance, it does go away if it changes hands with that variance? It
the
doesn't just,
variance would stay with the property
okay.
when it changes hands.
Could we stipulate that it wouldn't stay? Once we make it, it stays?
Correct.
Okay, so that's one thing I would like to see, a stipulation on the materials, and the city would get with them on what materials could be used.
Yeah.
Okay. If we were, on my side, I want to see that and getting with the city and taking care of that. But I do see the hardship in terms of the topography of the lot and where else could you do it, what else could be done, and needing more space.
Yeah, I'm,
Sorry, real quick, just to clarify. So in essence, if you wanted it to be clad in something other than metal, if that was the intent of y'all's vote, it would just be to approve approve the first part of the variance and deny the second, which would be have a shed
The clad and metal
clad
siding.
in metal, and then that would just make him have to clad it in something different, and we would work with the applicant to do that.
Okay, so reading the petition, it would be, if we were to approve it, allow the shed exceeding 120 feet in size. No, allowing the principal structure in the front yard,
That's right.
and then declining.
That's
okay,
right.
I got you. All right,
yeah, I have no issues with this siding. Mr. Fikes mentioned that he's willing to make those corrections, so I agree with that. And again, like Board Chair mentioned, with it being in a cul-de-sac, it's not interfering with the sight line, and I do see a variance where there's issues placing it in the backyard. Again, just for the record, I wish it was something that we can do with these businesses that are selling these structures, because they know the stipulations better than pretty much anyone. So instead of them just coming and dropping it off in someone's front yard, we need to find some way to hold them somewhat accountable. I have no other comments.
okay, so to read this, we need to do it in separate pieces, vote on separate parts, or?
You could do it that way. Another way you could do it would be just to make a motion to approve the first part and deny the second part, if that makes sense.
Okay, so that's time to read it, and so when we say, they're saying yes to the way I read it, that I'm gonna read it, is what they'll be saying yes to. Is that okay with everybody? Are we okay with approving the first part and denying the second?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So ZBA-42-26, Calvin Fikes petitions for a variance from the general standards for accessory uses and structures to allow a shed to be located closer to the street than the principal structure. We're approving that, and we are denying to allow a shed exceeding 120 square feet in size to be clad in metal siding on the property located at 4612 Base Drive, Zone SFR1, Council District 6. Voting, Mr. Pelt?
Yes.
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 Petition passes. And Mr. Fikes, you will just get with the city, and they will help you with what is appropriate to clad it.
All right, moving on to ZBA 4326, Irvin Bishop Jr. requests variance from the MR1 rear setback requirements to allow the construction of a single-family dwelling, and a variance from the general parking and loading standards to permit more than 50% of the front yard to be surfaced for parking on the property located at 2112 5th Street East, zoned MR1, Council District 5. Here we have the zoning of the property. This is just north of Dollar General, Alberta. And an aerial view. That structure no longer exists today, as you can see here from the street view. So this is the site plan that they're proposing. I realize that's a little tough to see, so I'm going to kind of zoom in as we go on. But they were requesting a variance to allow the construction of a single-family home. The lot is 25 feet wide and about 110 feet deep. The proposed structure will have 2 off-street parking spaces in the front yard. In order to provide that required parking, the petitioner states that they'll have to pave greater than 50% of the front yard and locate the structure 15 feet away from the rear property line. And I'll show you what I mean. So zooming in, this is the front of the property, and you can see their parking pad. As you can see along here, the property is about 25 feet wide. So in order to provide the required parking, parking generally for city standards is 9 feet wide and 20 feet deep. They would have to pave most of the front yard in order to park those vehicles there. And moving into the interior of the structure, you can see it's pretty tight. And this is the rear of the structure. And then here you can see that they're locating that structure 15 feet away from the property line in order to provide that required depth for the front yard parking. And as you can see here for regulations, the required setback for a single-family dwelling in the rear is 20 feet. And then here are requirements stating that no more than 50% of the front yard may be surfaced. And your decision-making standards for variances. We did not receive any written comment. Any questions for staff?
So this property was platted like in the
Pretty old.
1950s.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Yeah, so any other questions for the city? Thank you.
Thanks.
Mr. Bishop? Irving Bishop?
Mr. Bishop's not here. He lives in Missouri. My name's Aaron Sincroft. I'm with Trick Construction, 1305 Twin Oaks Road, East, Northport, Alabama. And so Mr. Bishop grew up in this neighborhood, and his grandparents lived in the neighborhood. He's still got, I think, an aunt and uncle, maybe some cousins that live there. He's wanting to buy, he's bought two lots. He'd like to build this home on it, and he's got intentions of building some more and trying to make the neighborhood look really good. But to get any parking for anybody that would live there, we had to violate or get an exception on the parking in the front. So we tried to make, they'd like 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, and to get side setbacks and front setback to work, we had to reduce the backyard. So that's what he's asking to do. So is there any questions that you have?
How long has the lot been vacant?
I don't know. I'm not sure when he bought it or how long it's been vacant.
It was platted in 1914.
1914? Okay.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Any other questions for this petitioner?
This is a question for the city. How old was the picture that we showed that had a structure on it?
This one here.
This year?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll find out. Give me 1 second.
Does he own either piece of property on either side of this?
I don't think so. Yeah. I think he owns at the end of that street, opposite side of the block.
So was this 2 pieces of property that he's putting together? Is that what you're saying? Or just,
No, it's just one lot. I don't, for some reason, it was weird how the house was placed on there before, but it's one lot.
see, like the house before was on, looks like it was on 2
Yeah.
pieces of
Yeah.
property.
Likely a non-conforming structure that was demolished.
Okay. All right.
So the new piece, the new piece of property is 15 feet wide? You said how
About
far?
25 feet wide.
25 feet wide. Ooh, okay.
Narrow.
Yeah. Gotcha.
So this is in Alberta, right?
Correct.
So in 1914, a 25-foot wide property was fine. And then after the tornado, that's when we changed the requirements for the lot size. When did the requirements for the lot size change?
Right, we've probably never had a lot size that would allow that thin of a lot.
It's crazy. Okay. Any other questions? No. All right, thank you.
Thanks.
Someone signed up to speak. Anybody signed to speak in favor? Nobody signed up to speak in favor. Is there anybody like to speak in favor? Nobody's in opposition? That was him. Because you were Aaron Sincroft, you came out, okay, so. All right, at this time, we'll close public comment, and we'll go to board comment. Mr. Pelt?
Wow, this is, yeah. I ran into this same problem with another piece of property that I own, 1939, I think it was. And the houses were built crossing each property lines like this. Well, I just don't see how you can even put a structure in a 25-foot wide lot, then set back with your whole front yard is concrete. That's difficult. That's difficult for me, but we'll see.
I don't see how you can build a modern home or structure on a property this size without encroaching on some of the setbacks. And so the property size kind of is what it is. I think in looking at the design of the home, it seems to have been designed with respect for the property size, and it's a modest home. I have no issues.
Yeah, I don't have an issue either. I mean, based off the lot lines, and it seems like you've done all you can with your floor plan to make it fit, so I definitely see the hardship and have no issue.
I agree with my fellow board members. I think we used to call them, shotgun houses that were built like this. And so to be able to develop the property and his intentions to go and do this on other areas, I think this is what we're looking for, affordable housing, so I'm in favor.
So we have a variance for the parking pad in the front and the rear setback. What about the side setback? Is that fine?
They're meeting all the other requirements for the zoning district.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say no comment on this one. Yeah.
All right, at this time, we'll close board comment. I'll read the petition. ZBA-43-26, Irvin Bishop Jr. requests a variance from the MR-1 rear setback requirements to allow the construction of a single-family dwelling, and a variance from the general parking and loading standards to permit more than 50% of the front yard to be surfaced for parking on the property located at 2112 Fifth Street East, Zone MR-1, Council District 5. Voting, Mr. Pelt?
Yes.
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 Petition is approved.
ZBA 4526, Kristen Hargreaves petitions for a special exception to allow a home occupation for personal services at the property located at 641 Hartford Drive, zoned SFR4, Council District 3. Here we have the zoning of the property, just south of TA, and an aerial view. Here's a view of that property from the street and their parking. They're requesting a special exception to operate a home-based business for personal services. The petitioner will perform color and style analysis in their home for clients. To my understanding, this is where they'll look at your hair and your skin and make a determination on what color clothes and stuff like that, and I'll let the applicant confirm that. But no more than 3 clients will visit the property per day. Typically, appointments will be limited to 1 client at a time, but occasionally the petitioner will allow up to 3 clients at once, and all clients will park in the petitioner's driveway. These are your standards for home occupations. And your special exception decision-making standards. Any questions for staff? We did receive 3 written comments in opposition, 1 letter with 11 signatures.
Any questions for the city? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Ms. Kristen Hargreaves?
Kristen Hargraves, 641 Hartford Drive. Liam did a great job in trying to explain that. Personal services, with all respect to my neighbors that are here, did come across as a little odd. So yes, it would be purchasing of a franchise where I'm certified to do color and style analysis on an individual basis. The things I'd like to point out are, you saw the driveway. We're empty nesters, so that car that was in the driveway was a guest, a family member. So we're parked in the drive and have the largest driveway in the neighborhood, so we always can accommodate that. It's very important to me because we're on that curve, not to have anybody parking on the street. We would convert one room in our home into a studio that would not change the outside of the home. It's by appointment only, so there's no drop-in, there's no retail. It is simply a one-on-one. I have the opportunity in my certification to do small groups. I may not do that. It may just be that I choose to do one-on-one. I love our neighborhood. It's a special place. It's a small neighborhood. Great respect for my neighbors that are here and have relationships with them, so I respect their opinion and glad they feel comfortable in coming. But did you have any questions about how I would operate?
Yes, what is color, like, what is?
Michelle would like to make an appointment.
Appointment, what's color, what will you actually be doing, and how long typically would someone be there?
Thank you, good question. The franchise is House of Color, and so the sessions would be an hour and a half at most, and you do some draping on people, so I would have a chair with a mirror in front of it, and there a set of drapes that we use to see if someone is cool or warm, and then you drill it down to find the subset. So it's a quick little 90-second makeup, and then choose what colors are best, and you leave with a little fan of your colors, and it's an hour and a half or less.
And so if you do 3 a day, it's like really just like a friend dropping in almost. It's like somebody might drop over in the morning. So nothing that's like all day long coming in and out.
Correct. And I would really like to operate between 9 and 4, not outside of that, just for my own personal choice. And
any weekends or just during the week?
it's up to me. But if I choose to, it's up to me. As far as the franchise goes, I can decide that. But I'd rather not work on weekends either.
Okay. And would it be 5 days a week or just?
At most 4.
Then we whittled it down to 4 days, about 3 appointments, 3.5 hours. Okay, I got
It's a
you.
perfect work day.
Right. Okay. Just something, I got you.
Yes.
Will there be any signage or anything at the home? Or?
No signage. I read in the, I think in the ordinances about it couldn't be more than 3 foot square and lay flat on the wall. I have not been told that I would have to have anything, but the consultants that I've seen had about a 1.5 that was against a flat wall, not outstanding from the home. But I haven't gotten confirmation of that. Nothing in the yard, nothing on the exterior of the house.
Okay. Any other questions for this petitioner? No. Okay, thank you. All right, we have one person signed up. Anybody to speak in favor? Okay, if you come up.
I'm Chris Latham, 612 Hartford. Kristen and Daryl are fantastic neighbors and even better people. They're the kind of people you want in your neighborhood. It's just beyond me that they would do anything that would ever harm or damage our neighborhood. And with that being said, I'd like to support them in this effort. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Anybody else like to speak in favor of this petition? Okay. We have one signed up in opposition, Susan Holliday.
Madam Chair and members of the board, thank you for listening to me today. My name is Susan Halliday, and I'm a resident at 600 Hartford Drive. For 2 reasons, I am opposed to the zoning board's approval of this special exception for Kristen Hargrave's home business or any other home business in Hartford neighborhood. First and foremost, Hartford is a planned residential community. Second, Hartford is geographically a small circle of 35 homes with around 50 children, and this will impact their safety. I personally provide each neighbor with updated directory of residents, protective covenants and restrictions, articles of incorporation, so there's no confusion that Hartford is a planned residential community. To allow this home to be used as a business Monday through Thursday between the hours of 9 and 4 would set a precedent that we don't want. What if the next neighbor wants to have a business, a franchise, out of their home? Well, I mean, I don't know what it would be. What if it's a massage parlor or a haircut place or bathing your dogs or, who knows, clothes or whatever? It is a precedent, and before you know it, our neighborhood has turned from completely residential to something else, residential and business. I'm asking you to please not grant this exception for those reasons. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who would like to speak in opposition to this petition? Yes, sir.
My name is William Kahn. I live at 608 Hartford. And we purchased our house 4 years ago. And the reason we purchased there is because it's a small community. It's enclosed. And it's a very nice place to live. I have a problem with this because it is a residential community. And when you start opening the door for one business, then you've opened the gates for several. And I'm opposed to having a bunch of businesses in the neighborhood. And once you allow one to come in, then you've opened the door. And so I'm opposed to this completely.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks.
Is there anybody else who'd like to speak in opposition to this petition? Okay, at this time, we'll close public comment and we'll go to board comment. Mr. Pelt?
I have no comment.
I appreciate the concerns of the neighbors, but I don't have any issues with this special exception. The homeowner has identified that there will be very few people there daily and probably not every day, and that they will also be using the driveway to park. The driveway is very gracious. And so for those reasons, I don't have any issues with this exception.
Yeah, I don't have any issues either. Their house is on a corner lot, ample parking, everything's by appointment, a few days a week. Everything's been outlined, very detailed. I mean, I see no issue.
I agree with my fellow board members, and also, I appreciate Ms. Hargreaves being upfront about this, because it seems like she could have just did it and you wouldn't have known. And to me, she opened up the door by being honest, and, I appreciate that, but one or two people, you would have never known. You would have just thought she had friends coming over to do it. So I think that she's being upfront. She's telling you, she doesn't sound like she's going to be doing a whole lot of working hard. It's going to be a little bit of, doing it. And I understand, but, it's like it's something she wants to get started. And if it gets bigger, I feel like she'd want to move it from the home if it gets any more than that, or it gets to grow. I don't think she wants to have a huge business at her home. So I don't really think that her intentions don't seem to harm the neighborhood. And I do understand about the gateway and you start one business, but each business would have to come before us to get the special exception. And so, you can kind of tell what's not going to fit with the neighborhood. I don't think the people that she's going to be seeing are going to be flying through the neighborhood. They sound like they're going to be people probably who have families who understand, a neighborhood and how that works. I just don't really see this being an issue with, but it's like anything else. Once you get a business license, they can call and make complaints. And then when the license comes up for renewal, if there are complaints on it, usually then that is dealt with at that time. So I encourage you to use 311. And if there is issues in the neighborhood with speeding and traffic and all of that, report it. And then when it's time for the business license to come back up for renewal, that's an opportunity that it'll be addressed then at that time. But I would be highly surprised if that was the case.
I have no issues. I'm in favor.
Okay. At this time, I'll close board comment. I'll read the petition. ZBA-45-26, Kristen Hargreaves petitions for a special exception to allow a home occupation for personal services at the property located at 641 Hartford Drive, Zone SFR 4, Council District 3. Voting, Mr. Pelt?
Yes.
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 Petition is approved.
Moving on to our short-term rentals tonight, ZBA 4626, Chris and Olivia Panksner petition for a special exception to allow the short-term rental of a property located at 13166 Bonehenge Drive, zoned LR, Council District 3. Here we have the zoning of the property and an aerial view. These are short-term rentals in the area. As you can see, this one was already approved. Here is a picture of the house
Treat house.
and some of the parking. So they were approved in the June 2023 meeting, and there were some violations, which is why they're here today. A complaint was submitted in March of 2026 about the property being advertised as an event space. In May of 2026, another complaint was submitted about a large event hosted that exceeded the 10 adult 5 limit that was imposed on the June 26th meeting. So here are some of those flyers that they had back in March that were advertising the property as an event space. Moving on to their request, Tanner Ashcraft will be the primary contact and available 24 hours a day. Currently manages over 50 short-term rentals. The house is equipped with keypad locks, cameras, fire/burglar alarms, and noise detectors. It is not owner-occupied. When not rented, the house will be used by the petitioner's family and friends. It's a 5-bedroom, 3.5-bathroom house. Petitioner is requesting 10 adults and 5 vehicles. If approved, staff recommends 10 and 5. We received 1 written comment in support. Do you have any questions for staff?
So is it renewing with the same people that had the violation?
So, I'm sorry?
Same owners?
Is this the same owners
That's correct.
that had the violation?
Correct.
All right, thank you, Lim.
Was the owner of the property managing the property in 2023, or was it Tanner then also?
I'll let Tanner confirm that.
All right.
Thank you.
Tanner Ashcroft?
Hi there. Olivia and Chris Pansner, 13166 Bonehenge Drive. You want me to first address the event? And Tanner.
And this is our property
Yeah.
manager, Tanner Ashcraft from
Yeah.
Tapaway Management. We're here regarding our request to renew our short-term rental. Olivia grew up in Tuscaloosa. We purchased the unique property in April 2023. The house is composed of 3 1800s-era cabins that were disassembled and reassembled on the property, and a cotton mill that from Demopolis that were also moved to the property and put on a 9-acre, fairly heavily wooded parcel set off from the road by a good distance. Olivia grew up in Tuscaloosa. We purchased the unique property so we could spend more time with our family and friends who live nearby. Our family and friends use the house when we're not here, and we didn't buy it as a primarily as a business investment. This was not like a lot of Airbnb rentals where people are doing it for investment purposes. In June 26 of 2023, as Liam said, the board granted a special exemption to operate a short-term rental. In the 3 years since that approval, we've rented the property occasionally when we were out of town. We've done so in full compliance with the applicable regulations. And until the events of May 8th of this year, we received no complaints from neighbors or from the city. We've gone well beyond the city's minimum requirements. We've installed multiple exterior and interior cameras, smart locks, noise detectors, and other sensors. We monitor the property in real time when we're not present, and we've also engaged Tanner as a property manager because of his proximity to the house when we're out of town.
Yeah, we definitely don't want people messing up the house, so we're really watching it.
So in April of this year, through Airbnb, Tapaway rented the house to an older gentleman who, together with his wife, requested to rent the house for the weekend. They were going to have their grandson come over with 2 of his friends and celebrate his high school graduation. Tanner verified his identity with a photo and his driver's license and provided access for him to access the house. On Friday evening, May 8th, while Olivia and I were out of town, we received a text from a neighbor about a large number of cars parked on the road. Tanner simultaneously received calls from the Baranos who live next door. We'd bought the house from them a few years earlier, as well as from Joe Lembaugh, who lives across the street. Tanner immediately went to the property. When we reviewed the camera feeds, we saw a large group of high school students, high school-aged individuals, in and around the house and the pool. The front door camera had been deliberately smeared with petroleum jelly to obscure the view, and although it was somewhat obscured, it appeared to be somebody was collecting money at the front of the door from people coming into our house. Tanner arrived to find at least 100 teenagers on the property. He immediately called the Tuscaloosa Police Department, and officers responded and cleared the property before 11 p.m. that night. The unauthorized party caused significant damage, particularly around the pool area. We filed an insurance claim and have engaged an attorney to pursue a civil action against the renter for breach of contract, fraud, and property damage caused by the party his grandson and his friends threw into direct violation of our rental agreement and our house rules. Olivia flew back the next morning and spoke to many of our neighbors. Many have been sympathetic and understanding. In fact, all of them Olivia spoke to have been sympathetic and understanding. Still, we want to use this forum to publicly apologize for what happened. It was beyond our control, but we do apologize for the inconvenience and disruption from this illegal and improper use of our home. No one's more upset by what happened than we are, as Olivia just said. Despite having exceeded city requirements and maintaining a clean record for 3 years, we've already suffered thousands of dollars in damage and now face possible loss of our ability to rent it to other visitors who come for football games, graduations, and local events. We respectfully ask the board not to punish us further for the action of a renter who violated the terms of the rental and our house rules. I do want Olivia to speak to the issue of the flyer that we had prepared, which we'd given to friends and family to help, make it known that we were renting the space.
Yeah, my background is in events. I do massive events all over the place in the work that I do. And so I made this flyer, and I understood when I made this flyer, by putting events on there, you can actually call the city at any point. Anybody can call the city and ask for a special permit for an event. So that being a possibility, I didn't see it as an issue. I even called somebody in the office just to confirm that that was okay. Anyway, we've taken away all of these flyers and taken that information off the website. I didn't know it was going to be an issue. But at the time when I looked into it, it was something that was possible through asking for special permits. And if somebody wanted to have a 20, 30 person small wedding at the time, I thought that would be fine, but that definitely is not the case now. So we have sorted that situation out.
Yeah. And
I can confirm that it wasn't because of this flyer.
Yeah, this issue came up not because of the flyer. It came up because of the party and the many cars that were parked on Sharps Lake Road in front of our house that alerted the neighbors to an event, something going on. This came up secondarily. We have never had an event at our house put on by anybody other than us. The only thing we've had there is a memorial service for Bonnie Barano, the guy who built the house, and whose family lives next door to us. Other than that, the house has not been used for any events. So we'd respectfully ask that this board consider reinstating our short-term rental permit. Be happy to answer any questions.
Was there a second event? Was there one in May and another one? No, it was
No.
just the one in
No,
May.
One in March. We were never alerted.
Was there? Yeah.
March was the complaint because of this.
Oh.
May was the event.
Yeah, somebody reached out to me from the office, and I was like, great, Mom, please don't pass out the flyers anymore. And let's pick them back up from where we got them, and I took it immediately off the website.
Tanner, you were managing at the time of the violation?
Yes,
I've
managed it since they had their license in '23, and I was kind of saying, I can confirm that the party that happened May 8th they had no idea about the flyer. That was not because of the flyer. That was an Airbnb booking, and like all of them, we require them to upload ID, make sure they're not using burner phones, real emails. We verify that the actual
But y'all
person-
knew it was a high school person involved.
It
for
was
his
not a high
gradu-
school person that booked it. It was a man born in the 50s that lives south of town.
And yeah, he gave a,
I was
Tanner went above and beyond with all
Yeah.
of our rentals to do a background check or ask for a picture with the man with his license.
Holding
which we
his
have.
license with it, yeah.
This person handed the keys over knowingly.
So it's like a
to high
parent
school.
gave the keys to their high school?
Yeah.
So a grandparent booked it and then turned around and gave the keys to their
The grandparent
grandson.
booked it, checked in, left, and said, hey, 18-year-olds, have fun. Again, he, yeah, if they were even 18. He, when he booked it, I thought it was straight, we look at these bookings. I've been fighting against situations like this for years now, and we've done a great job avoiding it. When he booked this, I recognized a local number and a local, we look at their IDs. It's a local person. So I'm like, what are you doing? That's always a red flag. This is, I was telling them earlier, this is a unique property, as unique of one that you can find. Everybody likes to say, my property's one of a kind. This is truly one. So when this grandfather tells me, hey, my grandson's graduated high school, we want to use, literally word for word, we'd love to use y'all's fabulous kitchen to cook a nice dinner. My grandson and two of his friends, he literally said two, are going to come over. They're going to enjoy the swimming pool while my wife and I cook a dinner. I'm like, wow, perfect. That's what this place is for a family to come in and have a good time. So anyway, fast forward into that night, I'm getting a call from Barano's at 10 o'clock laying in bed. I'm like, what are the Barano's calling me for? And they call and say, Tanner, here's a heck of a party. What was really strange is we have multiple, this is a large house, so we have multiple noise monitors throughout the house, and they weren't going off. I'm driving as fast as I can to the house and alerting them, and they're getting called as well. I'm like, I'm already on the way. Pull up, and it's literally my nightmare. I mean, there's cars everywhere. Yeah.
And we're freaking out watching the cameras as these high school kids are, running rampant in our house.
So Joe Limbaugh lives across the street. He's out in the front yard. He had called me as well, and, I couldn't even get down the driveway. I'm waiting on the police to show up, and my skin's crawling because I know, then the blue lights appear, and we're getting everybody out of the house. And this was, I got there just after 10, and it took a few minutes for the police to get there, to get everybody out. So, while I was sitting here waiting to come up here, I was looking back at my phone at pictures, trying to look at the time frame. So, I was in the house taking a picture of the pool like 11 o'clock, right at 11:05. So that means once I walked in, it was cleared. So anyway,
So why didn't the noise monitoring system?
that's where I was getting to with that. So once I got in the house and realized they had set up music outside by the pool. So I guess their plan was to party around the pool. So if music was playing around the pool, my noise monitors were inside. So they weren't going off. They started going off once I was actually already outside the house, parked on the side of Sharps Lake Road at Joe Limbaugh's, right on the side of the street in front of his house. And that's
you
when
feel
the
like
noise
some
monitors and the crowd control and everything, because that's when enough people were inside the house. From my
So you feel like
understanding, they
some
were
effort-
walking through the house to get to the backyard, and that's where the congregation was.
So you feel like effort was made to deceive you with this, like that they
I don't feel like it. I know effort was made. I called the guy that booked the house that next Monday, and because I had his phone number. I thought identity was stolen, and I didn't know how they pulled it off because I have a picture of the man holding his license. So that was pretty tough to pull off, but it wasn't stolen. He booked it, and he booked it for his grandson.
When you reached out to him, did he?
Have any remorse?
Oh, no, they said, because I told them, I said, there's been damage around the pool. I know all the neighbors are mad, like this is ruining our reputation. The reputation of the homeowners that depend on this income. I knew what was coming. I knew that I was going to get called from the city on Monday. And they literally said, well, we didn't stay on Saturday night because you kicked us out. You could use that money we didn't use. And that,
He's no longer returning calls. We've had to engage a lawyer. We've got an insurance claim filed, and we may have to file a civil suit to recover.
So my question is, can you put the flyer back up there? My question is this 10,000 square feet? Is that the house or different
Yeah, it's a little
cabins
under
on
10,000
the
square
house?
feet. It's like 9,500 square feet.
So it's the house is the log cabin itself. That's the house.
the cabins he described, they were brought together to
Oh,
build.
and made one. Okay.
They went all over Alabama deconstructed cabins, brought them over, reconstructed them.
It's beautiful.
And then built
Oh,
a house around it.
It was
Now,
really
what, the next question I had was to
Yeah, this
Tanner,
is the
what,
one here.
what assurances do you have in place that this won't happen again?
That's a great question. You know, we haven't had a situation like this in the years I've been doing it. I can't ever sit here and guarantee that somebody's going to behave. We'll continue to confirm the person actually booking is the one booking it. I told them earlier, you know, with this particular house, somebody planning a party this big is probably not going to book the condo downtown. You can't, you know, but this is truly private. And I think that private word, you know, it maybe is the reason they pick this. But, you know, if it takes us being there when they check in to shake hands, you know, Airbnb and Vrbo and these platforms, we have smart locks. It's a touchless check-in, if you will. So for this particular property, we're willing to be there upon check-in.
But it wouldn't have mattered if you were there on check-in. You would have greeted them, shook their hand, because they checked in. You shook their hand, they would have smiled, and you would have left.
That's right.
And this still would have happened, and so.
We're adding cameras.
Yeah, we're adding more cameras. I can put noise monitors outside. I've done it at one of the other houses on the lake.
Yeah, that was gonna be one of my
Yeah.
requests. Could you put one somewhere outside
They're
near the
indoor,
pool?
outdoor.
Well, we've got two outside, one at the front door, one at the back porch. We're gonna put one down on the dock, and we've got one in the garage pointing out through the garage door.
Yeah, he's
It's
talking-
almost like you have to have a deposit that's so high that, hey, if something happens, you don't get this back. It's like, you know,
Well,
amount
you know,
of.
the grandfather and his wife that booked it, you know, told me that they didn't know that he was going to do.
He
that
probably
sort-
didn't know it. It's probably just went
It's
out.
still irresponsible.
went
And it's
viral.
against our house rules for the booker not to be there. And you've got to be of certain age to book this property. We definitely don't book to 18-year-olds. So,
It seemed more planned than that, because
Oh,
they had
ab-
somebody at
They
the
had
door, they smeared the
security,
camera,
they had,
they had parking, somebody securing
parking.
parking. I mean, this was a
Well,
plan.
or,
when I pulled up, there was a young man at the entrance to Bonehenge, which is their private driveway, basically asking if I'm wanting to park. I'm like, you need to tell whoever's in here to get out. And so, yeah.
Just lucky you didn't get charged.
I could tell Tanner was upset. I can tell it now.
Yeah, it was our worst nightmare,
yeah.
but now we've lost the ability to do what we were doing in terms of short-term.
Are you going to rent to Grandpa again?
That grandpa has been cut off of our list, that's for sure.
Okay, any more questions? Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Do we have anybody speaking in favor of this petition? Okay. We have two people signed up, Cam Parsons to speak in opposition.
Cam Parsons, 2909 7th Street. I'm an attorney. I've been here several times. This is the first time I've ever spoken before this group opposing a short-term rental application. I'm a big advocate of those, but I'm also a big advocate of following the rules. We have rules. I'm big on the rule of law, and I'm concerned. I'm very familiar with this property. Dr. Barano was one of my closest friends. My friend David Bell, who's sitting back here with the petitioners, did a lot of this amazing stonework that you can see in here. It took him forever to do it. Dr. Barano was probably the best host of parties that I've ever gone to, and talking about the pool area and all that. He would have live entertainment. Some of our friends from college would come back 10, 15, 20 years later and play. This is absolutely a unique property. I'm very thankful that that these people bought it. I don't know Olivia. I know her parents. They're very nice people, well-respected people. But that's not what this is about. This is about the rules. And I'm not sure when the short-term rental license expired. The thing that really bothers me is the nature of the property. It's set up for parties. It just is, and a large family. Boney liked to have a good time. He had a large family, a lot of aquatic activities there. There's a dock. And back when the days when I was going out there a lot, it was probably the only developed house out there. There was an attorney that had one a little bit down the street. I failed to mention that I'm here speaking on the behalf of one of his neighbors who had difficulty driving up the road to go to his house on this particular occasion, where, you know, it's unfortunate for these people, but, you know, as a property owner, you're responsible to the use of your property and how it affects your neighbors. So I'm here speaking on behalf of Kenneth Randall. His address, and I'm going to read it from my notes because I don't remember it, is 13529 Sharps Landing Road. As property owners goes, he's 3 driveways down. He was very upset about that occasion, and he's upset about the advertising of the property as a Bonehenge retreat. The brochure advertised it as being perfect for game day weekends, which is good, right? As long as there's a license for it. And as long as the occupants in the cars don't exceed the number that you guys permit them to have. Family reunions, small weddings, rehearsal dinners, church retreats, graduation parties that we just heard about, general events and celebrations. Mr. Randall asked me to express his opposition to this and ask you to deny this application. Of course, the petitioners can come back in 6 months, but I think the fact that it's my understanding, and I don't have the ability like I would in a courtroom or something like that, but it seems to me that I've been told that it's been rented out beyond the lapse of the existing license. Can you tell me, Liam, when the license lapsed?
So the license was not renewed for 2025. They would need to come today, regardless of the violation, to renew their business license. But because there was...
So they haven't been renting it since 2025?
They have not renewed their business license since 2025.
So when the violation happened?
They didn't have a license?
They did not have a license for 2026.
So they've been renting it for 2 years, basically, without a license. And, you know, we all make mistakes, but I think that's a serious problem. Ooh. And, I mean, like Kim's here with 10 applications tonight for people that are, you know, want to get licenses for their rentals. So you can't do it. And I hate to use the word punishment, but I think when people ignore the rules and the regulations of this board, then the board should take that into consideration in determining whether or not they're going to grant them their license this time. But once again,
Mr. Parsons, Attorney Parsons, that's your time.
I'm done.
Thank you so much.
Question?
No, you did your job. You presented your case. We have Lynn Moore scheduled in opposition.
Hello, board members. I'm Lynn Moore. I live at 13387 North River Farm Drive. I'm about 5 houses down up the hill around the corner from this property. I'm familiar with the property, been in the property, been on the property. I have a large property. I have over 7 acres out there with a huge field out front. I could do the same thing. But I moved out there and put a considerable amount of money into my home in order to get away from these things, to have a bucolic, nice, pleasant property to live on with some space between neighbors and not have a lot of density, okay? So did the people around me. All the lots out there are sizable. Okay? We could all do this stuff. But it's obvious to me, and I don't know the petitioners themselves, I know the families, but I was told that, hey, they bought a house to be closer to their family, to spend time here, and it's a second home. They're absentee owners. They don't live here, all right? It's obvious that a business is being set up. The petitioner's in the business of putting on events. To me, my opinion, they bought it for that. They didn't buy it as a place just for them to have. They bought it as an investment, and homes are investment, but not to build the equity in your home like most homeowners do. They bought it to have events. So I'm vehemently against this. The density is a problem. We also have lake access. I'm in a slough right there, and people love to swim, get in the water, hang out right there. We've already got enough, problems with Shark's Landing being there and bass boats flying around and everything coming in there. Who's to say that one of these folks renting this thing aren't going to bring their own ski boat and back it down and pull it right in there? I think we're going down a real slippery slope here with this. I think there's a lot of liability implications here if this is approved. And I don't think it's going to enhance my property value at all to have events there. There are plenty of other places to do this, but not in a neighborhood. These are neighbors with their homes. So absentee ownership, already got a pretty bad track record of having not followed the rules, as Mr. Parsons said. We've already had the one problem with the police having to come and no license. So I'm asking the board to not approve this, and I appreciate it, and to help us as homeowners in the area to know that we're doing the right thing and support our values. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anybody else who'd like to speak in opposition? Absolutely. You're out. You can come back and respond.
Tanner Ashcraft, 1120 Queen City Avenue. I don't know what the deal is with the license, but we have renewed. We have a license ever since 2023.
So you do have a license that has.
Liam,
We reached out to the revenue division, because they obviously hold the business licenses, and they had stated that the license wasn't active. So we're just going off of what they had stated to us.
So when you first were approved for the year, that was in 2023. So then in 24, you went and got a license, your renewal.
Yeah, you have to
for
renew
3
every
years.
year. Yeah.
And then you go every year and get the business license renewed.
Send in your audit form and get a renewal. Yes, ma'am. Liam,
We-
you remember sitting in the office with, I forget the lady's office.
I do, and I believe, remind me if I'm wrong, but at the time of the violation, there was not an active business license. Is that correct?
We submitted all of our renewal paperwork and hadn't received it. Yes, Luana vouched for it.
Okay. So all we're going off of is what our revenue office told us?
Not Luana in particular.
Correct.
Well, I don't know what else to say. We've done what we're supposed to do. And, we can prove it, not tonight, but I can prove it.
Yeah, we got confirmation that there was no issue for that business license.
We paid the fee for the business license every year.
I can't, can you speak?
I'm sorry, we
listen.
paid the fee for the business license every year. Tanner's been responsible for filing that application, but we've been paying the fee every year. So if there's a problem with the record, it's not that the fee wasn't paid.
Right.
And then second.
So do they give you the business license, the actual?
Yeah, there's a piece of paper that we get that says 2025.
Yeah, so y'all have it.
Yeah, I absolutely have 2025 because it's sitting in a pile for filing in my office.
Okay, do you have 2026?
I don't have any of the licenses with me.
No, I'm just saying you have one for 2026.
Yeah, I assume.
We've submitted every one, and they're delayed. We submitted back January. I think they're late February 15th or so. But yes, and the license number don't change every year. But yes, we submitted all of our renewals first of the year like we do every time.
But the question was, do you have the 2026 paper?
I'm sure it's at our office. If it, yes, I mean,
We got an email confirmation from the team, from the city planners, that was on them and not our.
when we
violation.
first got this complaint, I went to go sit down in revenue office to explain what happened and, you know, what are we up against. And that day with me, you, Luana, and the other lady that we were sitting in her office, she vouched for it, saying that they do have a license.
So I think we can't answer this question here. I don't
Well, I think
think
that this is a very important question because them not
Right.
having a license at the time the incident happens changes the whole thing for me.
Right,
So
and I don't think we'll be
that-
able to answer that question, unfortunately.
So I don't.
Can we continue this?
Yeah, we
to
would have
next
to
month?
continue that because,
That just
because I'm just gonna
Yeah.
say that,
To make sure we're back in town for that.
that is huge. in
Tanner
ter-
can,
Is there?
Tanner can.
Tanner can speak.
Tanner can speak, and we've met you guys, and so I feel like Tanner can speak. Because if the license for me is the license was not valid and this happened, then it makes it, a lot bigger situation. So,
We've worked really hard to make sure we comply with all the requirements for this.
sure, sure.
We would not operate it without a business license. And the idea that we're somehow operating
Come to them.
I'm sorry, the idea that we're somehow operating a business out of this house, for
Financial gain?
financial gain with all the money we put into this house is just inaccurate. We wouldn't do it for that purpose. I appreciate that this pamphlet does say graduation parties and other things, but we've never had any of those things, and if somebody ever wanted to do that, we'd look pretty hard at that, especially after this.
Well, it doesn't say graduation parties for 200 people.
No.
You can have a
Absolutely not.
graduation party for.
Yeah.
You can have a
Five,
rehearsal dinner for
so-
10 people.
I'm not a fan of the pamphlet, and I'm
Yeah.
glad you've gotten rid of it. I did check your website, and none of this information is on their website, so that has been pulled. But the business license is a big deal for me, too. And so if we need some clarification on that, then I would like to continue.
I have an email chain I can forward you with Leanne that clears it up.
Can we forward can you forward it from your phone?
Yeah, probably.
Can we forward the phone? Can we take a second and see if you can do that, and we can look through that?
That's what-
Okay, if we continue it, what would happen? They would come back.
Yeah. They would come back next month.
So what we want to see is we would like to see their license. And what else do we want to, the email chain. Yeah, okay, so we need to make a motion and do that, continue it. All right, get a motion?
So move.
Second.
All right, voting, Mr. Pelt?
Yes.
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 Yes, to continue.
Yes, the petition will be continued. So they'll move y'all to the next one. All right. Lynn, we're going to move to our next. Oh, also, we'd like to know how many times it's been rented each year, how many nights that you did each year.
You can do it.
You can bring that back next time. How many each year, how many nights, like 30 nights, 40? That'd be
Okay.
fine. Mhm. You want to make the motion?
You ready to continue, board? Yes. Okay. ZBA 4726, John and Amy Quitt petition for a
When they
special
come up, you
exception
can
to
make
allow the short-term rental of a property located at 32 Wood Manor, zoned to SFR1, Council District 2. Here we have the zoning of the property and an aerial view and short-term rentals in the area. Here's a view of the property from the street and the driveway. John Quitt will be the primary contact and will be available 24 hours a day in case of an emergency. Petitioner does not have experience managing short-term rentals, but does with long-term rentals. The house is equipped with keypad locks and cameras. The house is owner-occupied. When rented, the petitioner will stay with their in-laws. The house has 5 bedrooms and 4 bathrooms. Petitioner is requesting 10 adults and 3 to 4 vehicles. If approved, staff recommends 6 adults and 3 vehicles. We received 2 written comments in opposition. Any questions for staff?
No.
Thank you.
John and Amy?
Hi, my name is John Quitt, 32 Wood Manor. Thank you, Mr. O'Leary. That was really helpful. I think it's pretty straightforward. We've got a large driveway, enough for 5 cars. We also have a garage for 2 extra cars, 10 occupants in the house. I've also got a document for you guys if you want it with lots of details. I wouldn't expect you to read all of it tonight, but I think it has the information you're looking for, like emergency contact, where we're going to be staying during the rental process. We'll be staying over the river with our in-laws 15 minutes away. Quiet hours, things like that. And then equally important, this document, at least in some form, will be posted on the short-term rental website and then clearly displayed in our house. So the renters will have clear expectations, rules, and then equally important, we want to be good neighbors. So that's all I've got. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to try to answer those.
Any questions for Mr. Quitt? No. All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
If I can clarify, Board, we did not receive written comment in opposition for this case.
Okay. For this one.
There was no written comment.
All right. We don't have any opposition or anyone signed up to speak in favor. Is there anybody who'd like to speak in favor for this petition or in opposition? We'll close public comment. We'll go to board comment.
No comment.
I have no issues with this. Seems pretty straightforward. I'm in favor of staff recommendations of 6 and 3.
Yeah, I'm in favor of staff recommendation as well of 6 and 3.
I agree with my fellow board members, 6 and 3.
I have no issues. I'm in favor.
Okay, closing board comment, reading the petition. ZBA-47-26, John and Amy Quitt, petition for a special exception to allow a short-term rental of a property located at 32 Wood Manor, zoned SFR-1, Council District 2, 1-year probation, 30 nights, 6 adults and 3 vehicles. Voting?
Yes.
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 Petition is approved.
ZBA 4826, Dave Donaldson, petitions for special exception to allow the short-term rental of a property located at 32 Brookhaven, zoned SFR2, Council District 6. Here we have the zoning of the property, just south of Snow Hinton Park, and an aerial view. These are short-term rentals in the area. A view of the property from the street. Tanner Ashcraft will be the primary contact and available 24 hours a day. Petitioner's property manager has over 20 years of experience managing short-term rentals. House is equipped with keypad locks, cameras, and a noise detection system. House is not owner-occupied. When not rented, the petitioner's family and friends will use the property. House has 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. Petitioner is requesting 6 adults and 3 vehicles. If approved, staff recommends 4 and 2. This was previously approved in June of 2023 for 4 and 2. They're here today because of a change in ownership. We did receive 2 written comments in opposition for this case. Any questions for staff?
Did they, when they were previously approved, was there any issues? Or is it?
None.
Okay, any questions? Okay. All right, Tanner?
Tanner Ashcraft, 1120 Queen City. Yes, I was sitting beside one of the owners of the house. I reviewed the schedule earlier with the forms and realized that 6 and 3. Now the petitioner, which is typically the owner, fills it out online. I used to always handwrite them and send it to them to sign. But anyway, I'm aware that the driveway is single lane, And so I knew before we came up here that it'd be 4 and 2, which is acceptable.
Okay.
Do y'all have any questions for me on this one?
All right. Thank you, Tanner.
Thank you.
No one has signed up to speak for or against this petition. Is there anybody in the audience that'd like to speak for or against this petition? At this time, we'll close public comment and go to board comment.
So it was approved in 2023. Did we run it back in the issue we had before? Do we have any, no incidents, but did we rent in 24, 25?
Yeah.
License, we good on all that?
No issues.
No issues for me.
I have no issues. I'm in favor of staff recommendations of 6 and 3, or sorry, 4 and 2.
I have no issue with the 4 and 2.
I agree. I have no issue with 4 and 2.
I have no issues, I'm in favor.
All right, closing board comment. I'll read the petition. ZBA-48-26, Dave Donaldson petitions for a special exception to allow a short-term rental of a property located at 32 Brookhaven, Zone SFR-2, Council District 6, for 1 year probation, 30 nights, 4 adults and 2 vehicles. Voting?
Yes.
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 Petition is approved.
Moving to ZBA 4926, Sterling Hinton Jr. petitions for a special exception to allow the short-term rental of a property located at 3013 5th Street, zoned MR1, Council District 1. Here we have the zoning of the property and an aerial view. These are short-term rentals in the area and the front yard and the driveway. I'll get to that in a minute. So the petitioner is planning to pave more of the property. You can see the driveways here. This has already been approved by our Office of City Engineer. The petitioner is just working on getting it started. Sterling Hinton Jr. will be the primary contact and will be available 24 hours a day. He does not have experience with short-term rentals, but has 25 years of experience with long-term rentals. The house is equipped with cameras and smoke and carbon monoxide detectors. It is not owner-occupied. When not rented, it will remain vacant. House has 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. Petitioner is requesting 8 adults and 3 vehicles. If approved, staff recommends 6 adults and 3 vehicles once the new driveway has been installed. We did not receive any written comment. Any questions for staff?
How are you going to ensure that if it's approved today, is it going to approve to go forward today and they can start tomorrow? They're going to have to wait until the driveway is put in?
Staff will hold the business license until the
Okay,
driveway
till
is
the
installed.
okay, gotcha,
We'll do an
gotcha.
inspection and then issue it at that point.
Gotcha.
It's approved.
Any other questions for city? Okay. Anybody need a All right, Mr. Sterling Hinton.
Hello, good evening, everyone. My name is Sterling Hinton Jr. My wife, Valerie Hinton. We live in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, 545 Garden Hill Drive. We petitioned to get short-term rental. I retired from the VA hospital in 2019, 7 years ago, and
I'm a 22-year educator. I'll be eligible to retire in about 3 years. And we're wanting to turn our long-term rental into short-term rental to supplement our retirement income.
okay. I worked at the Tuscaloosa VA, like I said. I went to school for carpentry, industrial electricity, and brick masonry. 5.5 years in the daytime, where I went to worked evenings for 5.5 years. Then I went to midnight shift and worked midnight shift, and I worked on these houses in the daytime, clawed, scrapped. We was able to accomplish 10 rental properties. We've been managing them ourselves, and now we're requesting short-term rental. A little nervous. And I did leave my glasses in the vehicle. before I came.
Well, I'll help you out, Mr. Hinton. You said that you guys have experience with long-term rental. You'd like to
ma'am.
move into short-term rental to accommodate, to
Supplement.
supplement your retirement.
right.
And so you understand that you need to have rules posted. Will you all be the contacts if something happened with a short-term rental?
Yes, I'm retired and I'm off,
Okay, so you'll be the
24/7.
person
They
that
can
they'll
contact
call
me.
if there's a
Right.
problem, okay? And so y'all know about the noise locks and the noise canceling and all that? Okay, all right, I think that's everything. Any questions for them?
You
Yeah, I do
understand?
know it's 30.
30, yeah,
Go ahead.
It's
No.
30 nights. It's only 30 nights your first year, and then after that, it's 40, if you get renewed, it's 45 nights. But initially, the first year, it's 30 nights, and we're strict on that. That means that no more than 30 nights can be rented, short-term rental. Now, if,
We're gonna work, we're gonna try to do whatever we can do to make
What'd you
it
say?
work. We wanna beautify the area.
and no parking on the street, okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you, guys.
Thank you much.
All right. Is there anybody, there's nobody signed up to speak for or against? Is there anybody in the audience that'd like to speak for or against this petition? Okay, we'll close public comment. We'll go to board comment.
Oh, I have no issues.
I have no issues with staff recommendations. Was it 6 and 3?
Right.
Yeah.
I'm in agreement with staff's recommendation of 6 and 3.
I agree as well.
I have no issues.
At this time, we'll close board comment and read the petition. ZBA-49-26, Sterling Hinton Jr. Petitions for a special exception to allow the short-term rental of a property located at 3013 5th Street, Zone MR-1, Council District 1, 31-year probation, 30 nights, 6 adult and 3 vehicles. Voting?
Yes.
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 Petition is approved. All right, Joe. Okay. You gotta go to another meeting. All right, Lim.
Moving to ZBA 5026, Drew Topham petitions for a special exception to allow a short-term rental of a property located at 2007 Maxie Thomas Way, Zone DHEH, Council District 4. Here we have the zoning of the property and an aerial view and short-term rentals in the area. Here's a view of that property from the street. And the
That's been
driveway.
approved before.
It might look familiar. We saw this last month, and it's a change in ownership.
Okay.
So Parker Colsar will be the primary contact. Petitioner does not have experience with short-term rentals, but does with long-term rentals. The house is equipped with keypad locks and cameras. It is not owner-occupied. When not rented, it will be used by the petitioner's family. House has 4 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms. The petitioner is requesting 8 adults and 2 vehicles. If approved, staff recommends 4 adults and 2 vehicles. As this was previously approved in the May 2026 meeting for 4 and 2, they're here tonight for a change in ownership. We received 1 written comment in support. Any questions for staff?
No questions. Thank you. All right, Drew. I guess it's new ownership.
Good evening. I'm Christy Lee. I'm here in representation of Drew.
Okay. Give us your address, Christy.
My personal address, 4805 Saratoga Estates in Northport.
Okay. And so will you be managing the property for?
I will not. I will be emergency contact and support of Parker.
Okay.
The
So
daughter.
Parker will be the first line of. Okay.
Correct.
All right. So does he go by Parker? Is it Parker?
It's a female. Mhm.
Oh, she goes by Parker. Okay. All right. And any other questions? All right, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
No one signed up to speak for or against. Is there anyone in the audience that'd like to speak for or against this petition? We'll close public comment. I'll go to board comment.
I have no issues.
No issues with, I'm in favor of the staff recommendations of 4 and 2.
I'm in favor as well.
I agree with staff recommendations of 4-2.
I have no issues. I'm in favor.
Okay, we're closing board comment, reading the petition. ZBA-50-26, Drew Topham, petitions for a special exception to allow a short-term rental on a property located at 2007 Maxie Thomas Way, Zone DHE-H, Council District 4, 1-year probation, 30 nights, 4 adults, 2 vehicles. Voting?
Yes.
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 Petition is approved.
present these next two cases together. They're right next door, same petitioner. ZBA 5126, Kim Roberts petitions for a special exception to allow the short-term rental of a property located at 2825 17th Street, zoned MR1, Council District 1. Here we have the zoning of the property, just east of Central Elementary, and an aerial view. Here's short-term rentals in the area, and a view of that property from the street and its driveway. Bama Vacation Rentals will be the primary contact and available 24 hours a day. The petitioner has over 25 years of experience managing short-term rentals. It's equipped with keypad locks, cameras, and a noise detection system. It is not owner-occupied. When not rented, it'll be used for extended stays or remain vacant. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house. Petitioner is requesting 6 adults and 3 vehicles. If approved, staff recommends 4 and 2. We received 2 written comments in opposition. Any questions before I move on?
No.
ZBA 5226, Kimberly Roberts petitions for a special exception to allow the short-term rental of a property located at 1701 29th Avenue, Zone MR1, Council District 1. Here's the zoning of that property. So you can see it's right next door to the previous case, and an aerial view. Here's short-term rentals in the area, and a view of the driveway front. Bama Vacation Rentals will be the primary contact and available 24 hours a day. Petitioner has over 25 years of experience with short-term rentals. House is equipped with keypad locks, cameras, and a noise detection system. It is not owner-occupied. When not rented, it will be used for extended stays or remain vacant. It's a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom house. Petitioner is requesting 4 and 2. If approved, staff recommends 4 adults and 2 vehicles. We received 2 written comments in opposition. Any questions on either one of those?
No questions.
Thank you.
Hello, Kim Roberts, 46 Sherwood Drive, 35401. Are we doing the first house?
Yes.
Okay, it is a 3-bedroom. It's under construction right now. They're doing a complete remodeling job there, so it's a 3-bedroom. I think there might have been a mistake on there because I think they recommended 3 cars. So we would like to ask for 6 adults there, 2 per bedroom, and 3 vehicles.
Which one is that, the 5126?
The first one is
engineering-
2825.
What did engineering recommend? Is this it right, is this the one?
For the first one, this is engineering's recommendation.
This is the first one?
Correct.
I
ZBA
thought
51.
The first one was the 2825,
That's right.
and it's a 3-bedroom, so we would like to request.
I think the engineering is going by the parking. Parking determines, not the bedrooms.
Well, it has a big, you can't see it right now in that picture, there's a big dumpster right there, but it does have parking there and behind the house as well. There's an alley behind that, that runs behind there.
You saying park in the alley?
No, but I think see the street there behind it, that's a little alley, and so they will have parking back there when they finish the construction on the house.
We would have to hold a business license until the construction, and we
That's
could see.
fine. Yeah, it's not going to be available for several more months.
Could we do that? Like we are engineering is saying too.
I mean, engineering made that recommendation, so if y'all feel comfortable with that, or if you feel comfortable with Ms. Roberts.
Was that additional parking put in the schematic or the diagram of what they submitted?
We haven't seen any site plans or diagrams.
We don't have no assurance that it's gonna be done if we approve it. Right?
I think 4-2 would be fine.
Yeah.
Ms. Roberts said it'll be several months before it's completed anyway, so, I mean, we'll be looking at maybe 6 months to rent it before she has to come back for another license.
As always, the petitioner can come back to request more adults and more vehicles with added information.
So if you need to do the 4 adults for now, that's fine, and we can circle
4 and
back
2.
around.
All right. And then the next one is 4 and 2 as well.
Yeah, the next one is ready. The construction is finished on that one. So it's a 2-bedroom, 1-bath, so we just had requested the 4 adults and 2 cars.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Don't go far. All right, we don't have anybody, we have one person to speak in opposition of the first one, 2825 17th Street, Sandra Moses.
A little nervous, y'all. I haven't done public speaking before. My name is Sandra Moses, and I reside at 5421 New Watermelon Road in Lake Ridge subdivision. I have lived in my home there since January of 1979. I will probably be the most negatively affected by short-term rentals at 5501, which is very closely adjacent to my house.
Ma'am, excuse me. I believe are you here for 5501 Watermelon?
Yeah, she called my name, so I was wondering.
No, ma'am.
You signed
Same
up.
person.
Yeah, you signed up on the one, so that's why I called you. So
Oh, did I do?
Yes,
It's supposed to be
So
5326.
We'll call you back up.
we'll call you back
Okay,
up.
Sorry.
That's
No
okay.
problem. Good catch on that. All right, anybody else to speak for or against? All right, at this time, we'll close public comment and go with board comment.
I have no issues.
I have no issues with staff recommendations of 4 and 2 on either of the properties.
I'm in agreement, 4 and 2 staff recommendation.
Okay, I agree as well with the staff recommendations.
I have no issues.
All right, so I'm gonna close board comment, and I'm gonna read the first one, then we'll vote, then I'll read the second one, and we'll vote. ZBA-51-26, Kimberly Roberts petitions for a special exception to allow the short-term rental of a property located at 2825 17th Street, Zone MR-1, Council District 1, 1 year probation, 30 nights, 4 adults, 2 vehicles, voting?
Yes.
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 Petition is approved. ZBA-52-26, Kimberly Roberts excuse me, petitions for a special exception to allow the short-term rental of a property located at 1701 29th Avenue, Zone MR-1, Council District 1, 1 year probation, 30 nights, 4 adults, 2 vehicles, voting?
Sorry, yes.
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 Petition is approved.
Moving to ZBA 5326, Kimberly Roberts petition for special exception to allow the short-term rental of a property located at 5501 New Watermelon Road, Zone SFR1, Council District 3. Here we have the zoning of the property and an aerial view. This is just down the road from the dam and short-term rentals in the area. Here's a view of that property from the street and the driveway. Bama Vacation Rentals will be the primary contact and available 24 hours a day with over 25 years of experience with short-term rentals. House is equipped with keypad locks, cameras, and a noise detection system. It is not owner-occupied. When not rented, it will be used for extended stays or remain vacant. House has 4 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. Petitioner is requesting 8 adults and 4 vehicles. If approved, staff recommends 8 adults and 4 vehicles. We did receive 1 written comment in opposition. Any questions from staff?
The gravel driveway, is that fine?
The gravel driveway he was asking.
Is that
Yeah, the
fine?
gravel driveway existed prior to the ordinance.
Is what?
It existed prior.
Okay.
No, you're correct. We had 2 written comments in opposition.
Okay.
Kim Roberts, 46 Sherwood Drive, 35401. This house sits on a very large lot, very private lot, and faces onto Watermelon Road. So there's plenty of room for the vehicles to park and plenty of barriers around the property, a lot of woods and everything else. So I think it'll be fine.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Ms. Sandra Moses, now you time.
Well, as you know, my name is Sandra Moses, and I lived at 5421 New Watermelon Road in Lake Ridge. As I said before, I've lived there since January of 1979. Lake Ridge is a very unique neighborhood. It's all cul-de-sacs. I think there are 3 cul-de-sacs. There are no through roads, even in between our cul-de-sacs to get anywhere else. You can see the curve, which is very pronounced, and that is one of my issues. I'm concerned about noise level. They've asked for 8 persons, 4 vehicles. I'm just afraid, especially after listening to one of the ones before where they had the big party, that this could easily morph into a large party venue on game day nights. The ones who are doing the rental is, let me find my notes, Bama Vacation Rentals. Their slogan is Southern Hospitality Meets Game Day Energy. They name their STRs Houndstooth Hideaway, Rammer Jammer, Rolling Tides, so you know who the target audience is, who they're looking for their rentals. So I'm very afraid that this is not a good fit for our neighborhood, which is made up of a lot of long-term residents like myself, many elderly, and it's just not the same character if they're out there partying. I'd like to know more about the noise control devices and exactly what those are, what the limits are with that, which would give me some peace of mind maybe. But I just don't think renters are going to be concerned and they will be loud and partying through the night. My house is about 20 feet maybe from their house. When they built it way back into the lot. So the front of their house is actually in my backyard, like aligned with my backyard. So I am very close in proximity. I have put up a fence and did that when it was built. So there is some block there, but I do worry about noise. I also have serious concerns about the multiple vehicles, being young people, possibly partying young people, possibly intoxicated young people on this roadway. Again, you can see the curves. We are actually the most deadly intersection other than 82 and Rice Mine in this area. There have been 4 deaths between the distance of my house and the 5501. There was a 2-car collision with a motorcycle. He hit a mother driving her child, killed the mother and the motorcyclist. She also ran into one of the houses when she left the road. No injuries in the house. The second one was 2 luxury vehicles, a BMW SUV and a Mercedes-Benz SUV. A lot of safeguards are built into those kinds of vehicles. But again, head-on collision. The BMW managed to stay upright and off the road, but upright. The Mercedes hit the embankment on the opposite side of 5501, rolled and tumbled and killed that driver. Another driver ran off into the ravine that is just past 5501. That is an empty lot that goes one past them. So it is a very dangerous intersection, or roadway, the whole curve is. Speed is a factor, you know, and unfortunately young people do that. So I do have concerns. I don't know. At one time, they even had a 45 limit speed sign put up in my yard that has lights that blink around the sign to call your attention to the 45 miles per hour. And they took it down. So I don't know if someone hit it, which is a possibility, you know, but there's nothing but an orange cone out there now. There was another sign like that sign further down. I don't know if that one's missing. I haven't gone down there to check yet. but it's dangerous on both ends. It's very limited visibility coming around those curves, and when they come around at high speeds, it's even worse. At the very least, I would like to ask the council maybe to do a traffic, I'm not sure what you would call it, but a survey, or I don't know what it's called, but to see if this is a safe place for strangers to be coming in, maybe late at night, maybe after a game, maybe after drinking, and making bad decisions in this rather dangerous roadway. So, we were the first ones out there, y'all. We built in the woods. That's who we are. And the
Ms.
other
Moses,
places-
that's your time, and
Okay.
thank you so much for your
Thank
comments,
you.
okay? We don't have anybody else signed up to speak for or against. Is there anybody else in the audience that'd like to speak for or against this petition? Okay, at this time, we'll close public comment and go with board comment.
I have no issues with staff recommendation.
I appreciate the concern about New Watermelon Road. I live not far from here. Your concerns are valid. But none of the accidents on that road mentioned were a result of somebody pulling in and out of the driveway, or at least that I know of, or short-term people that were staying in a short-term rental. And so I don't, the 8 and 4 concerns me a little bit, just because 8 and 4 always concerns me, but Kim has a lot of experience, and if the engineering department is fine with that, then I'm good with it.
I have no issues. I do appreciate your concerns. I know the area very well, the curve. I do know Rice Ferry has taken a lot of traffic off that road as well. So I am concerned about the 8 and 4, especially hearing the other case earlier tonight. I think I'm gonna be more out for 6 and 3.
I agree. I'm 6 and 3. I just, we always used to say that's a party. It's been proven now that that's a party. And so at this point, I'm just really, especially when you're in a neighborhood and you have neighbors who are already concerned, let's start with 6 and 3, see how that goes. And perhaps upon renewal, if there are no issues, then we can look at moving up to 8 and 4. But for the first year, I'm in favor of 6 and 3.
I have no issues. I'm in favor.
Okay, at this time, we'll close. Are you all?
I'm good with 6 and 3, yeah.
Oh, you, okay. At this time, I'll close board comment. I'll read the petition, ZBA-53-26, Kimberly Roberts petitions for a special exception to allow short-term rental of a property located at 5501 New Watermelon Road, Zone SFR-1, Council District 3, 1-year probation, 6 adults, 3 vehicles, voting.
Yes.
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 Yes,
Yes.
petition is approved.
Moving to ZBA 5426, Kimberly Roberts, petitions for a special exception to allow the short-term rental of a property located at 2913 Narrow Lane Road, zoned SFR1, Council District 7. Here we have the zoning of the property and an aerial view. Here's short-term rentals in the area. And a view of the front yard. Family Vacation and Rentals will be the primary contact and will be available 24 hours a day. The petitioner has over 25 years of experience managing short-term rentals. The house is equipped with keypad locks, cameras, and a noise detection system. House is not owner-occupied. When not rented, it will be used for extended stays or remain vacant. House has 2 bedrooms and 1 bathroom. Petitioner is requesting 4 adults and 2 vehicles. If approved, staff recommends 4 and 2. We did not receive any written comment. Any questions for staff?
Any questions? Thank you. Ms. Roberts?
Kim Roberts, 46 Sherwood Drive, 35401. This is a very small house, so we are going with just the 4 adults and 2 vehicles. They will be refreshing the driveway there. The gravel is kind of getting worn out, but it will easily hold 2 cars.
Okay.
Any questions?
No. That's it. Thank you. There's no one signed to speak for or against, and is there anybody in the audience that'd like to speak for and against this petition? Okay, we'll close public comment and go to board comment.
I have no issues with 4 and 2.
No issues.
No issues.
I agree with my fellow board members.
I have no issues.
At this time, I'll close board comment and read the petition. ZBA-54-26, Kimberly Roberts petitions for a special exception to allow the short-term rental of a property located at 2913 Narrow Lane Road, Zone SFR-1, Council District 7, 1-year probation, 30 nights, 4 adult, 2 vehicles. Voting?
Yes.
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 Petition is approved.
Moving to ZBA 5526, Matthew Gibson petitions for a special exception to allow the short-term rental of a property located at 1359 Southern Gardens Drive, Zone GPD, Council District 5. Here we have the zoning of the property. This is just east of the Aldi. And then the overhead view and short-term rentals in the area. Here's a view of the property from the street. Matthew Gibson will be the primary contact and will be available 24 hours a day. Petitioner manages over 50 short-term rentals. House is equipped with deadbolt locks and cameras. Is not owner-occupied. When not rented, it'll be used as a second home. House has 2 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. Petitioner is requesting 4 adults and 2 vehicles. If approved, staff recommends 4 and 2. We did not receive any written comment. Questions for staff?
No questions? Thank you. Matthew?
Matthew Gibson, 1211 17th Avenue East, Tuscaloosa. This is a great little 2-bed, 2-bath. It's kind of tucked away there in Southern Gardens. We're just requesting 4 adults, 2 vehicles. Any questions?
No, 50 properties, Matthew. That's good.
Yeah, we're doing well.
All right. Any questions for Matthew? All right, thank you. There's no one signed to speak for or against. Is there anybody in the audience like to speak for or against this petition? At this time, we'll close public comment. Go to board comment.
And I have no issues with board recommendations.
No issues.
No issue.
No issues? All right, we'll close board comment. I'll read the petition. ZBA-55-26, Matthew Gibson petitions for a special exception to allow the short-term rental of a property located at 1359 Southern Gardens Drive, Zone GPD, Council District 5. Voting?
Yes.
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 Petition is approved. You're welcome.
ZBA 5626, Alistair Wiggins Allen petitions for a special exception to allow the short-term rental of a property located at 44 Woodbine Road, zoned SFR1, Council District 7. Here we have the zoning of the property just south of Skyland Elementary in an aerial view. These are short-term rentals in the area. And a view of the property from the street and its parking. Jesse Wiggins will be the primary contact and available 24 hours a day. Petitioner has past experience managing 1 short-term rental. House is equipped with smart keypad locks and cameras. It is not owner-occupied. When not rented, it will be used by the petitioner's mother. The house has 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. Petitioner is requesting 6 adults and 3 vehicles. If approved, staff recommends 6 adults and 3 vehicles. We did not receive any written comment. Questions for staff?
You said when it's not in use, it's going to be used by his mother?
I'm going to let the applicant confirm
Okay.
what that looks like.
All right.
Thank you.
Mr. Wiggins Allen?
Hello, y'all. So my name is Lester Allen. I grew up in Tuscaloosa. Basically, the tornado took away the house I grew up in, and so since then I've been, looking for a house for my mom, and she's approaching 70. I left Paul W. Brown High School, went to Stanford. I'm still kind of figuring out my career. I'm applying to faculty positions. Maybe there'll be a position at the UA this fall. If not, I'll end up where I end up. But basically, that's what's going on. I was basically looking to find a place that can support my mom, but also cover the mortgage. And so that's why we were looking at doing a short-term rental so that she can, she worked nights my entire life, and I'm trying to make it so that she doesn't have to continue to struggle.
Where will she stay when it's being rented?
So the amendment there is that we would like 2 bedrooms, 2 baths, and one of the bedrooms would be locked, and that would be hers.
But she can't stay in the house.
Oh, sorry. During the rental,
Yeah.
my aunt still lives on Wonderman Drive, and so she would just stay with my aunt.
Okay,
Sorry
all
about
right.
that.
So you only want 4 bedrooms and 2 baths?
It's 3 bedrooms, 2
bedrooms.
baths, but one of those bedrooms would be hers.
So it'd just be 4 adults then.
Yeah, that's fine with us.
If there's 3 bedrooms and one's gonna be locked off, at least 2 bedrooms,
Yep.
so I'd go 4 and 2.
Yeah, 4
That's
and
fine
2,
with us.
okay. All right.
But
Any-
your mother will not stay there while it's being.
No, she will not. Sorry to confirm that. She will not. She stays with my aunt right now, and she's kind of still like,
But you'll be the point of contact if something happens?
Yes,
And take care
I
of
will,
everything?
yep.
Okay, all right. All right,
okay, thanks.
thank you. There's no one signed up to speak for or against. Is there anybody in the audience to speak for or against this petition? Okay. At this time, we'll close public comment and go to board comment.
I'm in favor with the 4 adults and 2 vehicles.
Okay.
I agree, 4 and 2.
Yeah, I'm good with 4 and 2.
All right, 4 and 2 as requested.
I have no issues.
Okay, at this time, I'll close board comment and read the petition. ZBA-56-26, Lester Wiggins Allen petitions for a special exception to allow the short-term rental of a property located at 44 Woodbine Road, Zone SFR-1, Council District 7, voting?
Yes.
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 Petition is approved.
ZBA 5726, Dave Donaldson petitions for a special exception to allow the short-term rental of a property located at 15 Cedar Knoll, zoned SFR2, Council District 6. Here we have the zoning of the property, again, just south of Snow Hinton. And an aerial view. Your short-term rentals in the area. A view of the property from the street. And its parking. Dave Donaldson will be the primary contact and available 24 hours a day. The petitioner has experience managing 1 short-term rental. House is equipped with keypad locks and cameras. It is not owner-occupied. When not rented, it will be used by the petitioner's son. And again, I'll let them confirm what that looks like. The house has 2 bedrooms and 1 bathroom. Petitioner is requesting 4 adults and 2 vehicles. If approved, staff recommends 4 and 2. We received 1 written comment in opposition. Any questions for staff?
Is this the same petitioner that did 4826?
That's right.
But Tanner stood in for him.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Is Tanner married?
Maybe we could get here.
Hi, good evening. I'm Dave Donaldson. I live at 2916 Northampton Drive in Tuscaloosa, 35406. And this home's been in our family for about 4 years now. My daughter, she lived there before she got married, and then now my son, after he's graduated from Alabama, works at BF Goodrich. And so if approved, he will stay with us during any short-term rental.
Is Tanner managing your properties?
He is managing the other one. He's not managed for me before. The one that I managed was in Academy Drive, probably 3 or 4 years ago before we moved.
But he's managing 4820, the other property, not this property?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. There's no one signed up to speak for or against. Is there anybody in the audience that'd like to speak for or against? At this time, we'll close public comment and move to board comment.
No comment, in favor with staff recommendation, 4 and 2.
I have no issues.
I have no issues.
I agree with my fellow board members.
No issues.
At this time, we'll close board comment. I'll read the petition. ZBA-57-26, Dave Donaldson petitions for a special exception to allow the short-term rental of a property located at 15 Cedar Knoll, Zone SFR-2, Council District 6, 1-year probation, 30 nights, 4 adults, 2 vehicles, voting.
Yes.
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 Petition is approved. And then there was one.
Final case tonight, ZBA 5826, Darcy Shane Miller petitions for a special exception to allow the short-term rental of a property located at 1745 25th Street East, zoned SFR2, Council District 6. Here we have the zoning of the property, just north of Bowers Park, and an aerial view. Here are short-term rentals in the area. and view of that property from the street. Darcy Shane Miller will be the primary contact and available 24 hours a day. Petitioner does not have experience managing short-term rentals, is equipped with keypad locks and Ring cameras. The house is owner occupied. When rented, the petitioner will stay with friends in town. The house has 2 bedrooms and 1 bathroom. Petitioner is requesting 4 adults and 2 vehicles. If approved, staff recommends 4 and 2. We received 2 written comments in opposition and 1 in support. Any questions for staff?
No.
Thank you.
All right, Darcy?
Hi, I'm Darcy Shane Miller. I live at 1745. I'm the owner. I'm a faculty member at the university. I teach a Monday, Wednesday schedule, and I thought this would be a great opportunity to rent for game day weekends and graduations to help offset the cost of a mortgage. I think that's all I got. 2 bedrooms, 4 2. It's exactly what I'm looking for. So I'm happy to answer any questions.
No question?
It's owner occupied, you have someplace to go when it's being.
Yeah, I've got friends in town, Starkville, Oxford, Birmingham.
If
and-
you're in Oxford or one of those other places, you'll have to have some, get
Yeah,
a
I
local
understand.
for emergency contact.
Yeah, I understand.
All right, thank you. We don't have anybody signed up to speak for or against. Is there anybody in the audience that'd like to speak for or against this petition?
I'm a horrible speaker, so I'm going to do my best. My name is Pam Gandy. I live across the street from Shane. I love him as a neighbor. I do not want renters. The people that spoke earlier that had that rental, that had the horrible experience with those teenagers, that was my reality before Shane moved in. We had college renters in the neighborhood, and that was what we experienced 5 days a week. The police were out in our neighborhood continuously. They parked in the street. They littered the neighborhood. It was horrible. My power and phone lines come off of a power pole from his property. They literally pulled the power lines and stuff off of my house because they were parked in the street and the utility vehicles could not go down the streets because the streets are so narrow. They tried to take the chains off of my gates to get in my backyard. They cuss me out on a daily basis for me telling them to get out of my yard.
And these were long-term renters, right?
Well, they were college. They stayed there like 4 months.
But
They killed my cats.
That's considered a long-term renter, that anything over 30 days.
I'm just terrified of having anybody like, in fact, the only reason Shane was able to buy the property is the people who flipped the house was going to put the same type of people back in there, and the whole neighborhood literally read them the riot act, and they turned it into a property to sell and sold it to Shane. We are terrified of having anybody coming in the neighborhood that's there to celebrate ball games or anything because we're afraid of cars in the street, loud parties, college kids littering the neighborhood. It was a nightmare. It was a total nightmare. The police were out there 4 and 5 days a week, all hours of the night.
So the reason why I bring that up is when it's long-term renters, that is something that we can't regulate, but short-term rentals are more regulated. Number one, they can't park on the street. They have to park in the driveway. That's 2 cars, they must be in the driveway. If there is an incident and you call 311 or call 911, like you saw the other petitioner, the fact that they have something against them and they're trying to be renewed, that could be a chance for us to non-renew them because of you called in and said, hey, they had a party or they did this. That's why they were so upset or nervous because they don't know if we're going to give them permission to have their license again for short-term.
So it's more controlled?
It's absolutely more controlled. So a call in from you saying that they had a party or anything like that could mean that he couldn't renew his license.
Okay.
So you have a lot more, like with the long-term rental, all you can do is call the police, and if they're not breaking any violations, they can have as many people over, they can park on the street, they can do anything they want to do. So with
Yeah, because when the police would come, and of course, they were all underage drinkers, so they would scatter. Police would leave, and 20 minutes later, twice as many come back.
And so that's, you see what I'm saying? But with short-term rental, something like that, if you call that in and it's documented on them that they had that happen, that's a strike against them and they can lose their license.
So y'all get that information?
The city gets it and they give it to us when it's time for their renewal. Just like you saw that case where they said this date, March 8th, they showed us what they were advertising, then they showed us May, the party happened. So we get that information at the time of their renewal, and then that's when we don't renew. You know, we could
So like if the police are called out, y'all, that when the reports are generated, it goes to y'all?
It goes to the
Oh,
city.
okay.
Yes. So this is much more regulated. You have much more control and much more, your say is heard more. Like, you didn't have anybody to tell that story to in terms of the long-term rental. There's nobody with oversight over it.
No.
So.
No, because, I mean, we tried talking to the council people, the police. We actually have a police officer that lives in the neighborhood, and he couldn't do anything with them.
So, but this is different. So I'm not trying to push it any other way, but I'm just letting you know how short-term rental is different from long-term rental.
Okay.
I hope that eases your mind some.
It does some, but like I said, we're just
Shell
super
shocked. Yeah.
I mean, extreme, to the extreme, because these people were horrible. And it wasn't just the house that Shane lives in, it was the house behind me. It was the house that the city tore down where they built the fire station. There was like 3 or 4 houses, and they kind of just got together. They would walk to each other's houses, and it was just horrible. So, yeah, it was bad.
We appreciate
and until you
you.
have them in your neighborhood, I can tell you how bad it was, but you can't fathom how bad
Until
it was.
you lived it.
Yeah.
I understand. Well, we thank you for being here today and sharing your story with us.
Thank you for
And
putting
we're
that with
taking
me.
no, we take it into consideration. Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anybody else that'd like to speak for or against this petition? At this time, we'll close public comment and we'll go to board comment.
I just want to say, ma'am, your concerns are valid and noted, and I think Mr. Miller will do what he needs to do appropriately to make sure this don't happen again to you. And if, like Ms. Coley said, you do have options, you do have avenues to make sure that this does not happen again. Call 311, call 911, and those records will come back to us. And when it's time for renewal, we'll make sure we do what we got to do. But I'm in favor with staff recommendation 4 and 2.
I agree with the comments, and I'm in favor of 4 and 2.
I'm in favor of 4 and 2 as well.
And so, Mr. Miller, please note the concerns of the community. And I'm in favor of the 4 and 2, and be aware that don't rent to what can happen, what potentially can happen. Those are my comments.
Yeah, I have no issues. I just want to say again on the record for Mr. Miller, just to make sure you have someone that's local when you're renting the house, just like the other petitioner where something happened and Tanner was able to be there within 10 to 15 minutes, just in case something were to happen. But I have no issues. I'm in favor.
At this time, I'd like to close board comment. I'd read the petition. ZBA-58-26, Darcy Shane Miller petitions for a special exception to allow the short-term rental of a property located at 1745 25th Street East, Zone SFR-2, Council District 6, 1 year probation, 30 nights, 4 adults and 2 vehicles. Voting?
Yes.
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 Petition is approved. We are now adjourned.